Developing now, a deadly discovery inside of a semi-truck in San Antonio. Reports tell us 50 people who were migrants were found dead inside the truck.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about the 50 people who have died in a very hot trailer near San Antonio, Texas. Now, that number has been rising. When I first heard the story, they said there were 46 migrants trapped in the trailer. They died. Then it was 48. Now it's 50. And there are, I think, at least about a dozen others who are still in the hospital fighting for their life. Now, we all know what happened here. We all know what's going on. The border is wide open. Human smuggling, human trafficking is at an all-time high. So, of course, they were in their trailer trying to get across into the U.S. Somebody left them. Somebody abandoned them. It wasn't refrigerated. And it's 100+ degrees outside the trailer. So you know how hot it was inside the trailer. And as a result, you have at least 50 people who have died. Now, was it a mass shooting? Was there AR-15 involved? Was there any kind of handgun involved? I don't think so. Are we going to regulate trailers? How about regulate the southern border? Just maybe. Now, before I get too deep into what I'm going to say, let's roll the clip. In this clip, you'll see local news talking about the whole situation. And after we get done watching that, I'll come back. I'll talk about what was said there. Then I'll give you the rest of my 2 cents and my deep detailed analysis. And then I'll wrap it on up with a nice bow on top. So without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Developing now, a deadly discovery inside of a semi-truck in San Antonio. Reports tell us 50 people who were migrants were found dead inside the truck. There was no water, no air conditioning. We're talking about the cargo space behind the semi, and the temperature outside was around 100 degrees. So you can imagine how hot it was in that cargo area. We go live to San Antonio and Priscilla Alvarez. What more can you tell us, Priscilla, about this investigation right now? Such a tough story to even cover.
Well, as you mentioned, a federal law enforcement official tells me that the death toll has gone up to 50, 48 who died on scene. 2 we know now died later at the hospital. And officials here are calling this a tragedy. Take a listen to the mayor of San Antonio who spoke about this morning.
I can tell you this. This is probably the worst tragedy in terms of migration that I know in recent history, and the people that are responsible for subjecting other people to these conditions should be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Now, authorities have said that there are 3 people in custody, but we don't know yet their connection to this incident. But as you mentioned earlier, these were dire conditions that these migrants were put under and that authorities spoke of yesterday. Those who were found with heat exhaustion and heat stroke. They said that the people were hot to the touch and too weak to get out of the truck. Again, there was no AC and there was no water that authorities found. All of this concerning, especially in the sweltering heat of Texas, when these migrants are believed to have been in that area for a prolonged period of time. Now, again, 3 people are in custody. We don't yet know their connection to the incident, but it is now a federal investigation. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, in a tweet last night, said he was, quote, heartbroken, and said that the department would work closely with partners in the region. Cheyenne?
Talk to me about this type of situation. Unfortunately, it's not that uncommon.
Well, this may be the deadliest incident, but to your point, human smugglers do often use rigs to transport and smuggle migrants into the United States. Over the last several months, we have seen a month-by-month increase of migrants crossing the U.S.-Mexico border. That is something that the administration has been grappling with. And in talking to immigrant advocates, many migrants have become increasingly desperate and taken very risky decisions. And so the administration has launched an operation to crack down on human smuggling networks, and that has led to criminal investigations and prosecutions. But this is exactly what they fear, that dozens will put their lives in the hands of smugglers and die in incidents like the one yesterday. So again, the federal authorities looking into this, looking also into where this truck originated and what path it took. But all of this still an ongoing investigation. Cheyenne?
Clear desperation there. Priscilla Alvarez, thank you so much for your reporting.
All right, so you saw that, you heard that. Now, this is very sad. I want to say rest in peace to all those that died. Although they were doing the wrong thing by coming across into the country illegally, they still died, and they got families, loved ones, so rest in peace to them. But this was totally avoidable, totally avoidable. The southern border is wide open, so the thought process is, okay, we could just come on across, and it's not really a big deal, all right? And it's not just Mexicans, it's people from all over the world, all over the world. They caught Russians at the border. They caught Syrians, Africans, Chinese. Do you know, actually, as a quick side note, that Chinese people are the number, I think, 2 largest group that comes to the southern border? Mexicans, number 1, of course, because it's right there. But number 2, it's Chinese. I've said a story before about the little sign in the desert, but I'll say it again because it fits right here because of the whole heat exhaustion thing and whatnot. Now, in certain points of the desert in between U.S. and Mexico, where the border is, there are signs that have a little button on it. And if you push that button, help will come to you. Obviously, if you're out there like right now in the summertime, it's June, about to be July. It's hot just over here close to the East Coast. So I know it's very hot in Texas, in the desert by Mexico. So if you push that button, help will come to you. Just stay right there. Don't move. Help will come to you. They get you hydrated, get you to the hospital, whatever they got to do, they'll come get you. Now, the sign is in 3 languages. Of course, Spanish, number 1. Number 2, English. But number 3, Mandarin Chinese. They're coming from all over the world to come through the border illegally. Now, you see the San Antonio mayor talking about, oh, they're refugees trying to find a better life, all this, that, and the third. Meanwhile, a lot of these people pay big money to come over here, to get smuggled over here. You're talking about like $5,000 to $10,000 US. Do you have $5,000 to burn? Because understand this, sometimes they're unsuccessful, and you can't just use that same $5,000 to $10,000 to keep trying to come back over and over again on failed attempts. You got to pay it again. So let's say you failed to come across the first time when you paid the $5,000. On the low end, it's probably more than that. If you fail, that money's just gone. You want to come again? I'm gonna need $5,000 more or $10,000 more or whatever it is. They try over and over again to come across the southern border. That costs a lot of money. Do you have $5,000 to burn like that? Can you just take $5,000 and just throw gasoline on it and set it match and watch it burn? Most Americans don't, but we're told that these migrants are so poor and so destitute and they're just trying to find a better way, all this, that, and the third. I can't tell. If you got $5,000 to burn over and over again, you must not be doing that bad in your country of origin, huh? And then you coming across the water, coming from China, coming from parts of Africa, a lot of Europeans as well, Russians, some Germans, a little bit of everybody coming across, Ukrainians coming across, Syrians, terrorists, okay, all of that coming across. Remember when they had the Haitians at the southern border? It was like thousands of them. People were confused. Hey, why they go to Texas? Florida's right there. See, people aren't thinking. People are traveling to different countries. I think a lot of the Haitians might have been in Chile or something, and then they realized that Joe Biden's in office and the border's wide open and they're stopping the border wall. So now, okay, it's time to strike. Let's go ahead and walk or get on a plane or a train or automobile or horse, donkey, whatever we can, and go through Central America and come to the southern border and get in that way. And we'll be allowed in illegally. Okay, that was probably the thought process with that truck. Okay, let's get everybody across, let everybody out, y'all scatter, and then you'll be able to just be in America. That was probably the idea. And they probably wanted to go further into the interior so they wouldn't even encounter the border agents. Okay, they were already in San Antonio. They probably wanted to go to Oklahoma or something like that. Who knows? Or some major city and just get let out and then they're right there. But who knows what happened? Might have been somebody that abandoned them. I don't know what went on. Maybe some money didn't go through. Who knows what happened? But this is far too common. 50 dead in the trailer, or it might have been an accident and people die in the back. I've seen migrants, quote unquote migrants, illegal aliens get put into the back of a pickup truck. I've seen a little bit of everything as far as human smuggling, and we're allowing it right now because of the wide open southern border. And I thought that this kind of thing was something that we frown upon in America, buying human beings, selling human beings, smuggling them across. It's a lot of slavery going on as well. As far as the whole Chinese thing, if you ever see like a Chinese massage parlor get raided, just take a notice of who they arrest and what's going on. Like, prime example, back when I was in Virginia a few years ago, there was a spot on Battlefield by the Great Bridge. That's what it's called. It's weird, but whatever. By the Green Bridge. It was a spot right there, and they shut that down, if I'm not mistaken. And they flashed mugshots, people that were arrested. It was a bunch of middle-aged Chinese women, maybe even older than middle-aged, maybe like some 50, 60-year-old women, all had straight Chinese names. You could tell they didn't speak no English. They needed an interpreter, all of that stuff. So why are all these women that look kind of similar, don't speak English, what are they doing here at a massage parlor, and why did they get raided? I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what's going on there, okay? It don't take a rocket scientist to figure out what's happening, and you see that kind of thing all over the country. And a lot of them are doing that kind of stuff, that kind of massage parlory activity in the U.S., and it's kind of forced because they came to the U.S., they may have brought family with them, maybe their grandkids or whatever, and they got to pay a debt to whoever smuggled them in. The narcos are involved with that. International conglomerate criminal organizations, they're involved with that. But it's okay because it's all being masked with this whole humanitarian, altruistic type thing from these leftist politicians that say, oh, they're trying to find a better life, all this, that, and the third, whatever. Let's stop the human trafficking, human smuggling, and maybe, just maybe, there'd be fewer mass casualties like this. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what's going on here? 50 dead so far. That number may rise. I mean, it's right now about 1 o'clock Eastern on a Tuesday. So the number probably will go up. But how do you feel about that? Is it inevitable, predictable? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This was totally 100% preventable. But if the border's wide open and we say, come one, come all, you're not going to get deported. You're not going to get arrested. You won't get turned back. If we say come back for an immigration hearing and you don't come back, oh, well, you're free. As long as that's going on, we're going to invite everybody from all over the world, whether they be innocent, non-innocent, criminal, non-criminal, whatever the case may be. The diseases that are going to come up, the diseases coming across, who knows what they got, smallpox, the plague, it don't even really matter because the border is wide open. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.